And we shall record. We also want intruders to open. So we open the door. So we shall record.
So you're leading the conversation?
Yeah.
It's just random.
You bless it.
Oh, I've already opened.
No, just rudisha tu.
Itabidi tu mrudishe.
Bless it. Isituvunja viuno. Pesa irudi mali ilitoka. Ituletee good energy. Tusilewe tutapike. Na hii podcast ibambe.
We mwenye anabarika nafaa jaribu shot moja.
Kumbe you're just dying to do it.
No.
She was just dying to do it.
The glass behind you.
But Maggie does better blessings, by the way.
Yeah. So on the next episode, Maggie will open it for
blessings,
us.
Yeah.
Mshisikia blessings za Kikuyu. Itakuwa funny.
Utatublessia na Kikuyu.
Alafu tutatranslate baadaye.
Nilikuwa nasema ati mkomano hiyo ni dago kunura.
Oh my goodness.
Unajua inamaanisha nini?
Inamaanisha?
Mkomano hii tunaweza muita jina Kiswahili. Mwenye nalalanga uchi. Mlali uchi nimekufunua. Sasa kitu kama hiyo isijika ina make sense na Kiswahili.
But I mean it doesn't come out. The way.
But Kikuyu, it's very inambe.
Yeah, it brings out that laughter or something. Yeah, I'll share my soda.
Why soda?
Today we are in we are cleanse.
Yeah.
Chapati zinakaa mkorogo.
So we can start with you. How was your week?
Oh, how
have you been? Whether you're a new member, so you can also.
No.
Yeah.
Introduce.
But guys don't even know us. We are coming from Spotify audio podcast, so no one knows our faces. So finally, we show our faces.
Yeah, but let me just.
Yeah, but you can
introduce myself.
Yeah.
My name is Margaret. I'm a lawyer. I'm a potential lawyer. I'm in University of Nairobi Law School, and yeah. My week has been very, very busy. Unajua niko na exam next week but one. So nimekuwa tu nikisoma.
A whole exam, like, is it an exam or cut? Like
exam. They mean exam before twende nini long holiday.
Okay.
So like technically week yangu imekuwa fun but busy at the same time.
Are you engaged?
Well, I'm seeing someone.
Because of the ring. That's what I'm asking.
Is this the engagement finger?
No,
well, there's some who wear it on that finger and some wear it also on this finger.
Na promise ring inavaliangwa wapi?
I think we are here. I don't know.
You can also use this to ward off guys. Just use
really?
it. Yeah. I used to have a friend who used to do that.
Oh yeah.
She'll put a ring just to put people off.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ukosho si akwa wako anaweka hiyo ring put people off.
Could you put off? Eventually alienda kwa wangu.
Oh, yeah?
Eventually.
Okay.
But it makes sense.
But that doesn't really make sense to me, though. Like, to wear it so that you put off people. Sometimes, according to what I hear, that's what attracts
more people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So sometimes we do things obliviously without really...
You have a mic.
Sometimes we do things obliviously without really knowing what the outcome will be. Yeah. So Maggie, sorry I interrupted. Continue.
Hata ni kama nilikuwa nimemaliza.
So you can just proceed. Like,
who me?
You.
Hi guys, it's been a while, but I know you guys know this voice. Lizzie in the building. This is the first time doing a video, so I'm sure you might notice some anxiety, some jitters, some shyness. So just excuse us for today, or rather for me. Maybe these guys are more confident.
You probably get used to it as
you
go. And also there's a lot of heat coming from the lights. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably some of us will start sweating.
Yeah. There's a fast thing for everything. And yeah, so slowly we'll get the gist of it. My week has been so interesting. It's been up and down, mostly down, but yeah, we move on regardless. We soldier on. It's part of life. It's part of who we are. We develop from such instances. So yeah, but in as much as my week was down, someone really made my week.
Apa.
Not here.
Not Apa in Swahili. Someone made your week. Apa.
Oh yes, Apa. Yeah, someone really made my week. Apa. For me, it was really, really, really shocking. I really don't need to go into details. But that person
you tell us, I didn't tell us. No, I'm not going to tell you more. But folks, this is what happened.
I feel like I'll be giving too much date. I don't know.
No,
what's the word for what's the initials for that? TMI.
Yeah. I feel like I'll be doing a lot of TMI, but this person really made my week beautiful. It reminded me that in as much as you're going through something in life, like there are people who still really, really, really love you and are actually thinking about you. And that for me was a lesson for me, because you are loved regardless of whatever or whoever is making you feel a certain way.
I second that.
Yeah. So to that person, you are really special. You really made my day that day. You are someone who's so close to my heart. You are my sister. You are my best friend. You're literally everything to me, and I love you. So yeah. That was my week, guys. Yeah.
Karibuni kwa Bible study.
Tumaliza na Bible verse moja.
Romans chapter 8, guys, by the way.
I know.
Romans chapter 8 verse 28. I'm sure most people know this.
Yeah, I know it.
What does it say?
What's the first one?
For those
who believe.
I'm saying that for shoot of the
what? All things work together for those who are called according to his love and his purpose. As in, all things work together for his own good, rather. So everything that you go through in life, it's for your own good. And it's just to develop you, to build your character, to build your faith, Yeah, all things work together for your own good, for his own good. So
Bible study.
Bible study. Yeah.
It
will be Romans 8:18.
I know 8:18. Just remind me. Just remind me. I know it.
For the joy that is to come is greater than the suffering of the present time.
Yes, the pain that you are going through right now cannot be compared to the joy that is coming. Yeah, that is also a very beautiful Bible verse. And
John 3:17.
Jesus wept. Yeah.
When I used to be in Sunday school, so they'll make it mandatory for us to say a Bible. So you're always going for the shorter one. Because it still counts. Alafu mwalimu anasema
Anasema tu win is a win.
Yeah, so that was my week, guys. Yeah. Cecil, how was your week?
Yeah, for me, thank you guys hope you guys are tuned in. The guys who have been listening to us on Spotify, asante sana, or thank you in English. For me, my week has been good. I think generally, I just enjoy my life. Like, I feel like my life, I'm blessed in the sense that I'm alive, in the sense that I'm able to do this because I have equipment. So I'm able to do this. Some people want to do this, but they don't have equipment. So I'm lucky.
You're not lucky. You're blessed.
I'm blessed.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm mixing the two.
Yeah.
But some you can be lucky to be blessed.
Really? Isn't that counterintuitive?
No, you can be lucky to be blessed because blessings are coming down and then they're not coming to everyone.
You're the one who's going to get this blessing.
I'm lucky to be blessed.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
generally, I think I'm good. In terms of work, I'm also good. As Liz said, I can't overshare. So, and then the Bible verse is goodness and something.
Mercy shall follow us.
Yes, so I learned with that verse.
Hajawambia kona new haircut.
Yeah, but then
yeah.
this haircut near interview. I'm going for an interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going for a job interview.
Whoa, congratulations.
The good thing is my manager doesn't got this. I just subscribe to each channel. So
Can I ask you? You don't have to tell us the company, but is it what you wanted? Is it the?
No, it's not.
It's not the one I know that you wanted. Is it the one that I know that you wanted?
What I wanted was a fetish.
The one that I know that you wanted.
Yes.
It's not that one.
It's a fetish.
Okay.
I'm a fantasy. But then there is what you need.
The reality.
So what you need is you need to move from step 1 to step 2.
Yeah.
So now that's the strategy that I have adopted.
Congratulations. But
It's an interview, it's not a
it's still a step. It's still a step. It's still you are shortlisted. So congratulations.
Hey, soft hands.
Sijata unakumbuka tukijua shule. Gift inashikwa hivi alafu
Hey.
Guys, these are excuses for them to touch me. It's fine.
Wow.
Finally,
we are sorry.
Please.
Yeah.
How was your week, Victor?
It was long, tough. Yeah.
Have you seen that? But you're tougher.
What your tough is?
I'm tougher than toughies. Yeah, so in the nature of my work, it was tough, but we managed to reach to the point. Like wiki meisha. Nashukuru Mungu. Was kazi tunafanya in a day we may hang almost 100 feet up in the air. Working so that you make some people's lives easier. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Kuna watu wengine wana arthritis yako na weight yako nataka kupanda 20 floors up. You depend on me.
Yeah.
Makofi tafadhali.
Makofi kwake.
You're doing a good job.
Makofi tena.
Nafanya job poa.
That's good.
Make
our work easier.
Yeah, make your life easier, not your work easier.
Like your work gonna immediate direct impact on people's life.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
And like me, I have to figure out how does designing a button make someone's life easier. But then you need to think about it, less stress.
Yeah.
They get to what they want quicker, which maybe inaweza kwa service delivery for healthcare.
But to you, like me and you, the work is correlated because at the end of the day, I depend on you to program.
Oh yeah.
You program the boards we are using. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we depend on each other.
Yeah, it's correlated.
Yeah, correlated.
Yeah. Awesome. So Lisa apparently ameniambia Lisa has told me to sort of coordinate the episode. Here's the thing. What you guys don't realize is my brain is blank. Like I can't even remember the topic that was supposed to. Like I've tuned out.
The topic is hurricane.
Hurricane.
Hurricane what?
Hurricane within.
Hurricane.
Yeah, hurricane within.
Poof.
Yeah.
Could you like try to explain to us what that
means?
Like try to explain to people is going to float.
Yeah. So basically we're talking about dealing with I think we should not even explain it. Let them figure it out as we go.
Discuss about.
Yeah, because now someone is just waiting kufinya next ama kuchange to another channel.
Yeah.
So let them figure it out. Yeah.
A Google kidogo.
Yeah, hurricane within. Yeah. So man, so here where Liz would say was sometimes I just go blank. Because if you guys allow me to ramble, I'll ramble. I'll ramble until you guys wonder, okay, where are you going?
It's okay, I'll help you.
Okay, you can help me early.
I want you to start.
You're gone blank, eh?
No. I like it when you first lead and then I take over.
Or we take over, rather.
Did you just hear? You like it when
You lead.
I first lead?
Oh.
You know, the accusers were talking. You talk so much about sex,
Yes.
and you've already started.
And we need to.
You started the innuendos. You've already started the innuendos.
No more.
No.
That was 17.
Yeah, PG
Yeah.
everyone.
13.
It's called everyone.
PG everyone.
It's you,
PG
or it's E. It's rated E.
Yeah.
E for everyone. Okay. Yeah. So I remember. So here's a story. Yeah? 2000 and no. 2016, 2017. Probably it happened earlier. I go to bed and I can't sleep. Why? I feel like my body is floating. And you see, when you watch movies or even music videos, when someone is dying, they always portray that the soul leaves the body and then flies off the roof. So that's what I imagine was happening. Like, no, today I'm dying. Like, literally, I feel like my body is floating. So maybe it's my soul that is trying to come out. I'm like, me, I can't go like this. So that day I stood. I got off bed and then stood, looking at the bed and also saying, me, I'm not going to sleep. Because anytime I go to bed, I feel like my body is floating. But then it kept on happening. 11, 12, midnight. Then I talked to my brother. Then
Talk to Julius.
I talked to Julius. I explained to him what was going on. Then I talked to my mom on the phone. And then my mom suggested there's a doctor that is a neighbor. So we called the doctor. The doctor asked us to come and see him at midnight. So we went to see the doctor. The doctor didn't test me. He just listened to my story. And then he told me, Then he asked my bro, you guys stop stressing this young man. So the issue was I was having an anxiety attack.
Oh, an anxiety.
Yeah. So what he told me is just go and sleep. If you can't sleep, he gave me some sleeping pills. So I ended up sleeping. But then that became the beginning of my journey towards trying to figure out why. Why at that particular moment in my life I was having an anxiety attack. So I ended up enrolling for therapy. Most people don't like enrolling for therapy. Most people who have enrolled for therapy, they always say that it doesn't work. But for me, I intentionally enrolled for therapy. The therapist sort of helped me because I was willing to be helped. Because I was just curious where the anxiety attack was coming from. And from my question I was asking, the curiosity, even my own research, it sort of helped me to heal faster. Now, I think I'm jumping the gun. Therapy did not heal me or did not help me get over the anxiety attack. It is me doing something called processing my emotions. So therapy helps you. Therapy reveals emotions that you have not yet processed. Processing emotions is you feeling a certain type of way and you trying to figure out why you're feeling that type of way. So you get to the root of that. So that's what's called processing emotions. Processing your emotions or feelings. That's what therapy helps you to do. So basically that's it. Yeah. So with also therapy opens your mind to the fact that now you can be self-aware. Sort of kind of thing. True, yeah. So that's and I think therapy is generally a good thing. And I know most people don't like going for therapy and everything, but therapy is actually good. Yeah. So those are my moments of getting close to the sisters of depression. I haven't gone into depression, but close to it was anxiety attack. I remember I used to walk in town, CBD, and I would feel my heart racing so fast. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to have an heart attack. Yeah. So the funny thing is when you it's called palpitating. Palpitation.
Yeah.
So when that is happening, it creates more anxiety.
Yes, very true.
And the more it creates more anxiety, the more you start thinking,
I'm going to die.
I'm going to die. Then it creates more anxiety. So it becomes a cycle. And then it builds.
Yeah.
So the worst thing that can happen is, like now for me, when I was, the more it happened, the more my eyes started darkening and I felt like I was going to faint. So the only thing is now you have to have those words of telling yourself, Zizi, relax, things are gonna be okay. So it actually helps. Yeah. So I think I'm rambling. I told you I was gonna.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So
You're good.
So basically, generally, that's my journey with anxiety attacks and almost depression. Yeah.
I have a similar story to that because I also suffered from a lot of panic attacks. At that time, I was a very young mother. I'm married. There was just a lot going on. So it's exactly what Cecil is describing. How, except from floating, I didn't experience that.
Spiritual awakening.
But actually, that one for floating. It has a scientific name.
Okay.
I don't remember the name, but there's a scientific name to it where you feel like your body is
levitation.
Levitating. Yeah. There's a scientific name to it. I don't remember, but I never experienced that. What I experienced is palpitations. I could feel like my chest is tightening.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel like I couldn't breathe properly. I also used to think that I'm going to get a heart attack.
Yeah.
It was so bad because it's so funny. I used to get them only at night.
Yeah.
Were yours only happening at night? Yeah.
Or when I still have anxiety attacks though.
Yeah.
The only good thing is I can control it.
Yeah, me too. So what happened is at that time I really, really used to involve my parents and tell them, oh, I think there's a problem with my heart. I think something is happening. So we really used to go to the hospital every other night. So I had to do something called a heart echo. A heart echo is basically like an ultrasound.
For the rhythm.
Yeah, just to check whether your heart is okay, the chambers, whether they're okay. And then I did an ECG and AKG where they put these things over here on all the pulse areas. And then I've forgotten the name. It's something that you wear. I've forgotten the name. You wear it for 24 hours and then it records just how the electrical activity of your heart, especially at night. And everything was normal, guys. Imagine, everything was so normal. So that's when the cardiologist concluded that I was going through panic attacks. And then slowly I just started knowing how to, calm myself, talk to myself. But then, guys, if there's someone who can talk to themselves, it's me. Affirmations, oh my God, come look for me. Yeah, so I also still suffer from anxiety. But I have come to learn how to manage them. I have come to learn how to just calm myself down and tell myself, oh, it's okay, you're going to be fine. And it doesn't even last 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, you sort of forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you forget about it, it disappears.
Yeah.
The more you focus on it, the more it becomes something.
Yeah.
So your body reacts.
Yeah. So for me at that time, I really didn't know that I had to deal with my emotions and what was going on in my life at that time. But as I grew up, I didn't do therapy. I've never done therapy.
Yeah. You've done.
But I think I have. I was going to say that with you. Exactly. Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth. I was actually going to say that, guys. I've done therapy with this guy. I have learned.
This
guy crazy.
Cecil.
Basically.
Touch me not.
Yeah. So I've really come to be more self-aware, learn my emotions, learn how to deal with people. What else can I say? Yeah, basically that. And guys, trust me, I'm at a better place in my life right now. Oh, it's amazing. This guy, look for him. Look at me. Look at me. Yeah. Anyone close to having something like that, they might not be going through what we're going through, as in having the palpitations and all that. So sometimes you'll find someone who maybe they've lost a job.
Yeah.
And I've come to find out that for men, it's more difficult for a man to not have a job compared to women. I think for us women, we have it easier. Do you agree, Maggie?
Yeah, I agree.
You have an alternative.
Of course.
Yeah,
not
right?
easier. You have
an alternative, yeah?
Like for a man, you don't have a... What's the alternative for a man? Going back home.
Oh my.
Which is
worse. Yeah.
It's not easy. If you have a girlfriend or a wife, accepting now they take care of the finances and everything, which is also worse.
It's worse.
So that's why it's so hard for a man to sort of deal with, for example, job loss. For a woman, I feel societal wise, it may not be easy for everyone, but it's sort of, there's that cushion of if I'm married, I've lost my job, the man will take care of. After all, the man is always there. According to society, the man is always the head, the provider. If I lose my job and probably you're not in a relationship, you can go back home. Your dad is always welcoming, saying,
oh, you're my daughter, you're my baby.
Yeah, exactly. So that's if you unless maybe you don't have anyone else to go to, then it becomes a big deal. Or maybe you're in a situation where you're not close with your parents, or you're not close with anyone, then it becomes a big deal. But then remember also, it depends with the kind of job that you've lost.
Yeah.
If you are a big wig, regardless of your gender, you feel it. Because now it means your lifestyle have to change.
Oh yes,
that's huge impact. So it's so easy to slide into depression when you are a big wig. But when you have a certain kind of lifestyle, then you're gonna lose that lifestyle. It takes you down, regardless whether you're a woman or a man. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask something about what you guys were talking about earlier. Do you think like sleep paralysis is connected to?
Yes, it is. Yes,
because like I've had a lot of experience when it comes to like sleep paralysis. I've gotten them many times.
I'm actually impressed that you mentioned the word
sleep paralysis
without sharing it.
Oh, really? Is it because
of course, because you are. Yeah. But I've never heard you struggle with R&L.
I really do, but I do sometimes.
Oh, you do?
You're too cautious. You're like,
do you have the Nini, Vika, 3, 30? Do you have that?
I don't think so.
You're already.
You guys, I can explain.
I don't think so.
I can explain.
Oh my God.
But like I'm saying, I've had a lot of experience when it comes to like sleep paralysis. That thing is so traumatizing, and it comes especially after you've experienced something that took you down emotionally.
Okay.
You can actually walk in, Tony. We're doing freestyle, like. It's just so, guys. This is Tony. You'll meet him at some point in the pod.
Yeah.
Both of them, actually. Both of them.
Yeah, and I feel like when you explain to people, like especially what to the older generation, they connect it with spiritual things.
Yeah.
But in real sense, you know why you got that.
Yeah.
Because you can't get something that really, really took you down emotionally off your mind. You're thinking about it consistently and you cannot be able to share it maybe with someone else.
Yeah.
Simply, there are some experiences that tunapatanga in life, like you cannot trust people. Ama you're used to dealing with things alone, such that it's hard for you to talk to other people. So you dealing with them by yourself, like in a letanga lot of, how do I call it? But yeah, I've also had some experiences.
Did you get any palpitations? Did you? It was just you levitating.
No. Sleep paralysis
is more of you're sleeping, but
you can't move.
You can't move.
Yeah, you can't move.
And then you become aware that now you need to wake up.
Oh yeah, but you can't move. Yeah, I've experienced that too. Yeah, you can't move. Yeah.
I remember at that particular time, I was living in a hostel. So I have 4 roommates. I had 4 roommates then. So I'm trying to call them. Sandy. I'm calling them in my head.
Yeah.
Your mouth cannot move.
Yeah. Cannot move. And it's really, really scary. Because I think at that point I was like thinking like, watu walikuwa wananichoma nje. Like nilikuwa nachomwa kama mwizi and I cannot even move. I'm trying to tell them I've done nothing. And I was trying to escape. Sizi kimbia, sizi amka. It's so scary.
Yeah, I've experienced that too. Yeah, it's scary. It's totally scary. I agree. Yeah. So, Victor, do you have anything to add?
Depression? I like my life.
Is there anyone you know that has gone through it?
Yeah.
And how was it for you?
Okay, I've got this friend of mine. 2007, I was back in primary school. So life happens, things. Because so as I was saying, I have this friend of mine back in 2007, losing parents to car crash. Now relatives have to take care of you. Majority, not every relative is that in for the experience of taking care of somebody else's kids. Yeah. So during that time, the parents died in 2007. So moving to class 7, that's in 2008, we started noticing some changes in the appearance. Like, when your parents are posh, lifestyle is there, dressing, food, nini. But coming back to school in 2008, we started noticing some changes. A whole week, nakuja na uniform haijaoshwa wiki mzima. So after some time, moods anaanza kuchange, anaanza kuwa more aggressive compared to when the parents were still there. So we just see like we are children. We don't understand what's going on. Yeah. So tunachukulia tu like labda amekasirika tu ama anapitia through the emotions of losing parents. But back at home, it was the mistreatment. Yeah. The mistreatment of the aunties, like the relatives were not treating them as they were used to. Yeah. So, that shift can bring that change in him. And all of a sudden, mtu amekuwa too aggressive. Like, you cannot talk to him the way you used to without him being like just being violent. Yeah. So I think after a point, even teachers had to warn us. Be mindful of what you're talking about to him. Because sometimes you'll just be talking, then you start mentioning, like, when you're kids, you have to brag. Like, my dad did this for me, my mom did this for me. Then this person starts recalling, like, if my mom was there, if my dad was there, this and this would be happening. Yeah. So ikafika point that anatoka nyumbani kuja shule, but afiki shule. 1 week, 2 weeks, teachers start asking, have you seen this guy? Kumbe the kid used to, ametoka home, anakuja shule, but afiki shule. Anapitia through, kuna hizi street kids. Yeah. So anapitia through how, with time, anza kuvuta hizi gum. Yeah, hizi gum. Just to get that glue. Your glue.
It's called super glue.
Shoe glue. Shoe glue.
It's shoe glue.
Yeah. So after some time tukamwona kwa streets. So tukaenda kuambia walimu like, hey, so and so anavuta gum ako kwa streets. And the teachers were like, what's happening? Following up the story, tukapata like, this kid was just into depression, real depression. Because nyumbani anamistreatiwa, shuleni akikuja nobody understands him.
Na
hezi fitting because umejua si ni watoto. And kids, you cannot tell somebody like, wezi mwambia usifanye hii. The more unamwambia usifanye hii, the more atafanya. So ikafika point, akaingia into that. Na hivyo ndio aliendanga tu.
So what happened?
No, he just got into drugs. So hiyo gambi alianza tu hivyo. Addiction nini. Akata shule hivyo.
Up to date, do you guys have any whereabouts about him?
He died in 2012.
How old was he at that time?
2012, let's say 16, 17. Yeah.
Oh, that's very young.
Yeah. So anyone that experiences depression, I'm going to use a word that probably is susceptible. You know what susceptible is?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're open to 1, addiction, 2, con men, 3, this is also part of conning. which is cult. So
Yeah. Makes sense.
So most of the time you find people are following a certain prophet.
Yes.
Or people are following a certain leader. It's most of the time. But even people get too much attached to someone in a relationship. Yeah, those are signs of someone who is dealing with or will deal with depression. I'm not an expert. I'm just saying from my experience, because I used to be so attached. I used to be so obsessed at some point in my life. And at that time, I think I would have been easily susceptible to, not a cult, because I've never been a fan of too much religion. For some reason, I've always been, if it is too much, I just back off. It repulses me. But addiction, yes. Abuse or too protective, easily triggered, those kind of things. So and those could also be signs of someone who needs to work on themselves. Yeah,
that's true. About what like Victor was talking about, alikuwa anasema like that boy felt like in school people didn't understand him. So that I was telling Kina Liz, like sometimes we should be very careful when we talk to other people, because at that particular point you don't know what someone is dealing with. And then sometimes kuna awa watu wanakuanga na esteem issues. Mse anasema something about his body ama her body ama something about herself which is negative, and maybe they're expecting you to say something positive about it, and then you don't even say anything ama you just say something even worse than that, and in making them feel even worse. I was giving them a story about a man who committed suicide like 2 weeks ago. Alikuwa kwa 6th floor, alikuwa anataka kujirusha chini, and then people down there were saying like, jirushe, what are you waiting for? In their head walikuwa like, if tutamwambia ajirushe hatajirusha. But then I was saying like, this man aliona nisipojirusha watu watashinda wameniongelelea the whole place. I tried killing myself and I didn't even do it. And then he ended up throwing himself down and he died. So that's why I'm saying sometimes when people want to do something negative, they only need a positive word from someone, or they just want someone to tell them something good about themselves, or just something good about life, and inaweza motivate to, go to the next step of it.
But are people prepared? Are people empowered? Or are they sort of, maybe the word empowered is too much, but are people trained?
I don't think so.
Trained? What do you mean by trained?
It doesn't come. It's easy to assume that it comes natural to know how to handle someone who is dealing with that.
We can call it like sensitization. Like I use sensitized to handle such.
I don't think people
but do you really need to be trained? It's as simple as there's like it's.
You see,
okay. I might be putting it as common sense, but it's not common sense. But I feel
it's common sense. Actually, you're right. It's common sense when everyone else is healthy.
Oh, yes, very true. Yeah.
But with all the economical changes and everyone dealing with their own stuff, probably 80% of Kenyans are not healthy.
Oh yeah, but yes.
So they're like, you're wasting our time.
You're wasting our time. We need to
drama.
That is actually so true. Come to think of it, just the way you put it is actually so true. So, people are going through so much. And for you to tell people that, they meant that you are like, hey, Buddha. But do it.
But at the same time, I feel like unafaa ujeke the position of the other person. Kama ni ungekuwa hapo, how would you like people to react?
But you see, just like Cecil is saying, it's so hard, especially in the times we're living in right now, for people to do that. Because I'm telling you, Maggie, people are going through so much, especially this time we're living in. People are going through so much and you wouldn't even know. I'll be here, I'll be talking to you guys, I'm laughing, and then the next minute, we even talked about this, and then the next minute when I go home, you hear another story.
Yeah.
So
think about it, it's already happening on Twitter. Since the politicians were not sympathetic during the protests, when the Gen Zs were being abducted, and then some of them being killed. So now, any leader that loses a member of their family, or any leader that loses, or any leader that dies, the Gen Zs are celebrating.
Yeah, but they
Kimewaramba.
What we don't, I'm sure.
In fact, I've gone so far.
Yeah.
I saw this story on Twitter of this. Was it an MP? Charles. What was his name?
Charles Swearing.
Yeah.
Shots.
And then I saw a video of a guy. I don't know if he's an MP. I don't know who the hell he is, but he was so happy that he had died.
Yeah.
Like he was like, why did God take so long
To take this
to take
nigga.
this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's exactly what you're saying.
Yes,
Yeah, so-
Potentially we all are dealing with some. We all need to go to therapy
yeah.
as Kenyans, including the president, and talk to each other. Because right now we are talking at each other. We are talking like I'm talking to you so that you can feel. I can make you feel hurt. It's not so that I can express myself so that you can understand me. No.
Oh, yeah,
It's I'm expressing myself so that I can make sure that you gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Think about it, how toxic relationship work. It's
Yeah.
always about
I just- yeah.
me saying something so that you can feel the pain, not me communicating so that you can come up with something positive. That's the relationship that we have with our leaders right now.
That is so true. As in, what in lines of what you said, how we communicate at each other, not with each other, and we communicate to hurt this other person.
Yeah.
And what I've come to learn about depression is that the person who's closest to the person who's depressed is the one who gets hurt the most. Yeah.
That's true,
Yeah. So you guys are good today. Hey, we are good. We've had a good weekend. And then all of a sudden, this guy just flips.
Yeah.
You're wondering, okay, where has this come from? I thought we were good. I thought we were okay, as in, so it's very important to try and observe such outbursts and such actions so that you're able to know exactly what this person is going through.
I'm sorry, Lee.
What is it? What is it?
So Tony has gully creeped. Tony has gully creeped, thinking that he's not being seen. When I was searching that camera, you've been seen. You've been seen. You guys know what gully creeping is? Yeah, it used to be a dance.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, Cecil, how depression, it usually affects the people who are closest to that person who's depressed. So one minute you guys are okay, the next minute things are just, bad. And one thing I've come to learn about depression is that it goes, it's like it just becomes worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until something changes. Until I think you, as the depressed one, makes a choice to be, to learn that anyway, whatever I'm doing, I'm hurting other people.
Yeah.
Tony, welcome. Salimia tawad.
Good evening. Continue with your worst.
So,
Worst and worst.
yeah, so I was saying, do you think it's for a depressed person, for them to realize that, I think what I've done is, like, damage has already been done. Do you think it's upon them to realize what they've done is wrong, or do they need intervention from someone else to tell them, by the way, what you're doing is wrong? What do you think? Like
Someone else.
like you who's like, for example, I don't sound depressed. I don't say that. There's power in the tongue. For example, someone who's depressed, and then there's so much damage that has been done to the person who's closest to them. Is it them who need to come to the realization that they have done so much damage, or do they need someone else, like an outsider, to tell them that, you need help?
They need intervention.
Yeah,
They need
because to them-
intervention.
Yeah.
To them, they don't realize it.
They don't.
Really?
They don't, because I feel like they think that you're supposed to understand. Like,
Oh.
They're very defensive also. So
Yeah.
Oh, they're very defensive.
Yeah.
Yes. That is very true.
I think even intervention will be difficult.
Mhm.
These guys are very defensive.
Mhm.
I always think that someone at that point when you're approaching them, they feel aggrieved.
Yeah.
So it's a form of entitlement of sort of like the world owes me, or you guys owe me,
Yeah.
or how dare you, kind of thing. So intervening, it's hard.
Mm.
That's what I was saying. For me, therapy worked because I initiated it.
Yeah.
And I was willing to go an extra mile. When someone is not initiating it, they'll fight the process.
Yeah.
They won't. It's hard to help them.
And are they like always in victim mentality?
Yes.
Like it's always me. Oh, me, I'm the one who doesn't have this. You don't understand. No. Yeah. So it's also hard to.
Yeah, and then there's some form of fear of that's what creates the victim. It's some form of fear. And I'll give you an example of knowing that I have to take responsibility to change. But then you're scared that either you'll fail or you're not good enough.
Yeah.
It's the same feeling like of rejection. If I approach this chick, she'll reject me anyway. So why do I even bother? If I go for this interview, I might appear like a fool.
Where should I go?
Yeah. Or I'll be too anxious to even perform. Another example, stage fright. Why should I even go on stage? Because at the end of the day, I'll stammer. People won't understand me. Then they'll look at me with sympathy. So why even should I do that?
Yeah.
You get? So now, for me, I feel like, and that's why you need professionals. Guys who are trained to help. Because they know where to start and how to start. And for example, if you're dealing with someone who is dealing with stage fright, I think the first step would tell them, you see this first step, you're going to mess it up. You're going to mess up. But it's the most important step. Because from that step, that's when you sort of get better. It's maybe 0.something%. And you need that 0.something% for you to get to even eventually one day 100%. So I think therapists and psychiatrists, those professionals are qualified to know what's the first step depending on the situation.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I think. But then I've dealt with I've dealt with people who are dealing with depression. I've dealt with depression myself, and one of the hardest things is to tell them, "Man, I think you're depressed." Especially when they are already to the extreme.
Yeah.
They're deep into it. If it is just something that is not deep, because for them they'll look at it, you're judging me, man. And then they become aggressive. It becomes a trigger. You're judging me. How dare you judge me? You know. So you have to find a way to talk to them in a way that they'll see that you are not judging them. You mean well, but at the same time, say what you mean.
But let me ask, sorry to interject.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with someone who's depressed and they're telling you all this negative things, and then you're trying to come with really positive things, but they really don't. It's like it doesn't. It's like it enters here and then comes through the other ear.
So something else about people who are depressed. They're also manipulative.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Because they're being protective. Yeah. So they don't want to, if they notice that you're noticing a weakness, they try to cover it up
Yeah.
with the manipulation. So yeah. And I always feel like we're all depressed. We're all dealing with stuff. But then there are levels to our madness.
Yes.
There are people who are so mad.
Yes.
There are people who are almost there. There are people who are
extremely there.
And then there are people who know that I was mad at once.
So wait, let me just finish my thought process. So
with this person that you're dealing with who's depressed, they're telling you, oh, Sujui is, they're being very negative to themselves. They're being very malicious to themselves.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to be very positive with them. You're trying to tell them, no, it's going to be fine. This is just temporary. Things are going to work out for you. What do you do when your positivity is not yielding any kind of fruits? Do you stop? Do you give them space? Do you continue? What do you do? Because even for you as a person who is trying to be very positive to this person who is depressed, it will drain you. It will really, really drain you as a person. Yeah. Because you're trying to understand this person, you're trying to encourage them and motivate them and, pray for them and, but then it's like it's hitting a wall. What do you do?
Maybe I think when you help someone with an expectation, you also end up getting depressed. Because you have an expectation. You're like, why are you not seeing my point? Why are you not seeing my point?
Yeah.
But then also, there's also an exercise to futility when you're always trying to be positive, and that's not therapeutical. It's like giving someone positive vibes, yet they just need Paradol. You telling me I'm a good person, I'm handsome, I am soft spoken, I have good hair, does not heal my headache.
True.
What heals my headache is the right medicine. You get. So I think that's why it's always good to know what tool to use for what situation. So self-esteem, positive vibes work. If someone has low self-esteem, positive vibes work. When someone is dealing with depression, they don't need
positive vibes.
In fact, they know everything. They know that what I'm telling me, I know. They're going to tell you.
That makes sense.
They'll tell you all, even they'll give you the answers.
Yeah, that is true. That makes a lot of sense.
So now you're stuck there. You're like, okay, how do I help this guy?
So here.
So me, I always feel like if you can get the very first step is in them. If they can get to a point where they now accept that they have a problem.
Yeah.
It solves half of the problem.
Yes.
If someone can never get to that point,
then you're doing zero work. Yeah. It's difficult.
It's hallelujah. In rugby, there's something called hallelujah.
What does that mean?
You're given the ball, and then instead of looking for a passing opportunity, then you pass. You're scared of attack, you just throw it. Whoever catches the ball, you're saving yourself.
It's like the wedding possession.
Yeah, Hail Mary or something.
So, like, my question is, like, when you're dealing with such a person, are you supposed to give them space, or are you just supposed to be there for them, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes, Tony.
So, as Cecil said, there are levels to depression. So in psychiatry, we were taught that as we won't deal with
Tony, Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor in the house.
We won't deal with the depression ile yenye sijalipa rent,
Finishes the conversation.
sina chakula. That's the amateur depression first. It's there down there. So as we were dealing with,
just rewind.
there are levels to depression. There is depression where sina chakula ya next week yote.
Sijalipa rent.
Sina rent. Yeah. Then
that's amateur.
Okay, let's not say amateur. Amateur is a wrong word. But
That's baby steps into depression.
yeah, baby steps
To depression.
So for us, the people I met, the depressed who I met in Madari were major depressive disorder and persistent depressive disorder.
Hey, guys.
So
did you hear
persistent
that?
depressive disorder is someone who has had depression, and it's clinically diagnosed depression for 1 year.
So are these the people who are given now medicine?
Yeah. And for major, most people will be in major. They will graduate slightly into major because major is 2 weeks.
Major is?
2 weeks of depression.
Oh, really?
And there are 5 things you have to tick for you to be diagnosed as depressed.
Please tell
I don't
us.
remember the 5 things, but I know the one I remember for exam was you lose interest in pleasurable activities. What you like doing, what defines you as a person, you totally lose interest in that. Yeah. Don't remember the rest.
And the person closest to you?
But for me, for the few patients I interacted with, they knew they were depressed. And it's like they did not want help. They wanted to continue with their life One of them unfortunately passed on while in Madara. I don't know how. If the government is watching this, just find out. But for me, what I can say, I think of all psychiatric cases, depression is a gray area.
Really?
Because apart from medicine, I can't help you if you don't want to be helped.
Wow. Hey.
It's not like something like...
that is so true though. Yeah.
Because with depression, we classify... So for like psychiatric diseases, you can classify it into a mood disorder, or I don't know, I've forgotten the other classification.
You know, just the
See, everyone knows schizophrenia. Everyone knows schizophrenia.
Yes.
So there's a group where schizophrenia is. You see, for schizophrenia, you can't talk to the person. Dawa.
He talks to himself.
You just give this. You have to give them medicine.
Yeah.
But where you see, for depression is together with bipolar. It's together with anxiety. It's together with phobias. All of them are in one group. So that one, for all those diseases, it depends on the person. You can give drugs. And at the end of the day, atarudi nyumbani, na kesho utampata hapo tena.
They can also play a game on the doctors. And act like
Just to get
they come where. Then when they go back,
So wait, I have a question. You said there's amateur depression.
No, not amateur depression.
Baby,
level 1.
It's level 1. Okay, guys, we scratch amateur. So there's level 1 depression, that is rent, food, loss of job.
They're common problems.
And then you said it'll take 2 weeks.
If you have the two, it's because I actually don't remember the list, but I remember there are some 5 things you have to have for 2 weeks continuously for you to be clinically diagnosed as major depressive disorder. It's now major.
So it doesn't have to be just 2 weeks. Within those 2 weeks,
Within those 2 weeks.
you have to take the list.
Okay.
The list.
Okay.
Then after those 2 weeks, you are now major depressed disorder.
I got a case.
Okay. All right. Okay. So like Tony said, I think he's answered my question. And then I think, yes.
So depressed mood, loss of interest in pleasurable activities, weight loss or weight gain, or increased appetite, insomnia, or the opposite, you just sleep a lot. Then you are always fatigued. Then thoughts of death and suicide.
Oh my. Wow.
So if you can tick all of them, if you're watching this and you know someone who is ticking those things, those boxes, seek medical advice.
So those people who, if they tick all those boxes, are those the people who are given dawa, or they're just given counseling?
But you see, the problem is most people don't know about it.
Yeah.
They're not aware.
So I'll to some extent, I'll feel you have a problem, then I'll just come say, the way you're saying positive things. There's nothing you're doing. And I'll get tired of you eventually.
Yeah.
Choka na ujama. Sasa unadhani nitaishi maisha yangu juu yako. Just leave you alone. Because in terms of the number of patients, the depressed patients in the psychiatric wards are the least.
Yes, that's true.
The other diseases are many.
Yeah.
Because, and you won't even tell someone uko na depression na kupeleka Madhare.
Yeah.
You won't tell someone such.
So, as you said, for someone who's depressed, you can only help them if they want to be helped. That's it.
That's according to me.
Okay. But I think it holds water. I think it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And I think that's a better place to end.
Okay.
Guys, it's been real. It's been awesome. Thank you guys for joining us, man. Our first video podcast. I think you've seen all the faces, and more faces will be seen and heard, and then more voices will be heard. Thank you guys for joining us for this session. Liz, your famous word.
Toodles.
Awesome. See you guys.
Bye.